Okie dokie, so I'm gonna quickly do this review. So the nerfs came out back yesterday, February 6th, 2018, and four cards got nerfed, and they've been pretty much top meta for a little while now, except for like Patches, Raza, and I guess Bone Mare, but like Corridor Creeper has been recently part of Kobolds and Catacombs. And now it has a 2 attack from 5, which is pretty significant nerf. A lot of a lot of aggro decks are what mid-rangey. I'm just gonna call them aggressive decks, early game decks that try to kill your opponent as fast as they possibly can. Yeah, this card was a main juice of their decks. I mean, I still think aggro decks are still gonna be good because I feel like this card, it's probably never gonna. I mean, it has occasional play. I'll get to that in a little bit, but I just want to talk about. Yeah, like the three -3 attack is pretty significant. I feel like aggro decks. I feel like Beartide Hydras will just replace the creepers, and I'm just saying I mean, creeper does or Hydra does exactly the same thing what a creeper does, but the creeper just doesn't whack your face 3 times. But or 3 damage every time it takes damage. But I don't know. I think this card might see slight play. I feel like the only classes are Token Druid, Evolved Shaman, and mid-rangey Face Beast Hunter. Token Druid has a lot of incentives as token because they have stuff like Mark of the Lotus, Power of the Wild, Mark Yashiraj, which synergize with this card. You know, this is a beast. Mark Yashiraj is a 4/7. Still pretty decent. Like Mark of the Lotus, Power of the Wild, that's a 3/6. Plays around like Dragonfire and stuff like that. But I mean, needless to say, it's like I know it's like a grub, but I mean, Token Shaman, it has evolved. Like it becomes an 8 drop. Like this thing becomes like 3/4/5 mana. You play like this and then you evolve it. You get an 8 drop. 8 drops are pretty significant in Hearthstone. But anyways, and then Hunter, beasts like Crackling Razor Maws, Houndmasters, stuff like that. But I doubt I feel like Bittertide Hydra is better than this card now. Corridor Creeper I think was a little better than Hydra. Yeah, Hydra has more value. Like it's a 5 mana 8/8, but it doesn't hit yourself 3 times when it takes damage. But this card will see probably limited play. I've been playing since yesterday and I haven't. I think I've seen one creeper, but anyways, on to Patches. Patches no longer has charge. Yeah, it's pretty significant. The main issue is I still think Patches can be valuable. I mean, Patches is needless to say a 0 mana 1/1. Like even though he can't trade early game, I still think he can see play. It's not like Creeper where he got nerfed super badly. Yeah, the 1 damage, I know 1 damage doesn't seem like a lot, but eventually that adds up. Like if you play like a deckhand, Patches turn 1, Patches hits the face turn 1. You coin South Sea, that's a lot of damage. Eventually it does add up, but I still think he can be valuable. It's really hard to tell, though. I mean, he's a 0 mana 1/1. He's tempo on board. He can trade early game. You have a weapon or something. I still think he can be used in tempo aggro decks or aggressive decks, but we'll see. I mean, it's sad that they decided to nerf him as he's exiting wild or standard in the next coming months, because we have what 1 to 2 months before we get the next expansion, March, April, or something like that. But anyways, yeah, moving on. Raza, who has been dominating the meta with Highlander Priest ever since the Death Knight came out. Yeah, maybe instead of nerfing Creeper, maybe they could have made it cost 10 or 12 or something. Or make it cost 15 or something like that. Or they make it to where a 10 mana cost. Whenever a friendly minion dies, reduce this by like 1. But they kind of nerfed it to oblivion. It's never probably gonna see play again. But anyways, Raza. Your hero power costs 1 now. There's no dupes. Yeah, this was much needed. Yeah, it's a pretty big nerf, but I still think it can be used as like a control type of Okay, I'm making sure I'm recording because I think last time I streamed it one time. LUL. I still think it can see play. It just eliminates a lot of the burst. You know, you had stuff like you had hero power. You play Valen. That's 6 damage. You play Rain Elemental. That's 10 damage. Mind Blast 24 damage with 1 turn with like what 10 mana, something like that. That's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, like it eliminates the OTK, but I still think it can be a valuable deck. It's just the main issue is you were able to hero power every turn. Like if you had Raza on turn 5, you pretty much had tempo the entire game. Like you play Raza, like you pretty much trade everything he plays and you heal it. I mean, turn 5 you really have to worry about like taking damage until like later in the game. Maybe instead like no, well I guess I don't know. What I was thinking of like when I first initially thought that when Raza got nerfed, I thought, oh, maybe they can make that to where when you play Raza, his hero power costs 0 like in human form or Death Knight form. I thought that would be kind of interesting, but I don't know, kind of limiting the amount of potential Raza can have, but everyone would just save the Raza until the very end. Like, you wouldn't really have incentive to play him early as you do now, like where, you know, he has 0 mana hero power regardless of where he is in the game. But I do think it was a much needed nerf. I think Raza was dominating everyone. And even if you had Raza in your starting hand, you were pretty much guaranteed to win. I mean, if you drew the combo pieces early, you could pretty much guarantee to wipe your opponent super quickly. You know, they call Highlander for a reason because, you know, like, there's times when I play the deck, it's a fun deck, I'm not going to lie, but when you don't draw your combo pieces, if Raza's at the bottom, like, bottom 5 cards of your deck, yeah, I don't know. They call it a Highlander for a reason because you have the high roll on it. But anyways, I still think it can see play, but main issue is going to rotate out like patches. Creeper probably won't see play, but I'm just saying like it most recent expansion it came out, but another Dr. 7, woo, Dr. 8 now. Bone Mare now costs uno more mana. Yeah, I mean, Bone Mare was pretty much like patches. Ran in almost every type of deck. You know, there was like last month I faced a Tempo Road that had a Corridor Creeper into a Bone Mare. So she pretty much got like a 7 mana 14/14. And I know I was playing Warlock and I had a Soulfire. I had 3 cards in my hand. It was Blood Reaver Gul'dan, Soulfire, and Doomguard. And I had a Soulfire to stay on board, and then of course I got rid of the Gul'dan, so I pretty much lost. But I know Bone Mare has been pretty impactful. I think it will still see play. Like the Uno mana nerf is a little unfortunate. It does nerf its potential. It does nerf the card a little bit, but it still seems powerful. I mean, you have an 8 drop. You have a 8 mana 9/9. That's like better than a Lich King. Yeah, like pushing a Bone Mare back a turn is, yeah, it nerfs the power level a decent amount, but I think it'll still see play. I run Bone Mares, you know, it's just the problem is like the later the game goes on, like when you face control decks, like the chances of you winning are kind of slim. Like you play Cube Lock, yeah, like a 7 mana Bone Mare versus an 8 mana Bone Mare might be the difference if you actually win in the game, but I think Blizzard did make a big mistake. I mean, these are justifiable nerfs. Like the Corridor Creeper was much needed. Like this was game breaking. Patches was in charge of the meta for a longest time. Rosaga's Priest was completely destroying people. And Bone Mare was too. The main issue is Warlock is making a push for top meta. The problem is like there's no incentive to I mean like they didn't nerf Warlock at all. The problem is like you have a possessed lackey, which is exactly the same as a guild master or guild recruiter. I'm sorry, which is a 5 mana card. They're both 5 mana. Guildmaster's a neutral monster. It's like what a 5 mana 2/4 recruit a 4 mana less minion. Well, you have a possessed lackey that recruits a demon. It needs to be. They need to nerf either possessed lackey or well, just the power level of Guildmaster versus Doomguard. You know, possessed lackey. You know, you play that on turn 5. You recruit a 9 job. Like then the next turn or so. And the main issue is like Warlock has a bunch of incentives. Like they have a bunch of sustain that can help them push through. Like a lot of aggro decks, they have a lot of AoE, a lot of healing. They have pretty much a lot of stuff. You know, they have 2 spell stones, they have 2 fires, they have 2 defiles, 2 void, like 20 void lords. Like it's just, I feel like they need some type of, they need to nerf either possessed lackey or like do void lord. That's the main issue I have with these nerfs is that I feel like Q-Lock is going to be a problem. We may see J Druid come back because I feel like J Druid can possibly stop Cube Lock. The main issue is all they have to run is a Geist, and then J Druid is pretty much useless. Even though J Druid does have insane scaling, like Skull and Geist completely negate some J Druids with the Jade Idols, so they pretty much don't have infinite scaling. But I would like to see some type of nerf with Warlock. Whether it be Possessed Lackey, Void Lord, or something. Dark Pack. Make it like 4 healing or something. Because you know, there's times where I pretty much have killed the Warlock I faced, but you know, they had the survivability with like, you know, the 16 healing from Dark Pack. That's 2 mana, 16 healing. And recruit like I mean they kill their own minion and they get a Void Lord or like Doomguard pretty much for no cost, and it's not much you can do. Then they have Carnivorous Cubes. Then they can Dark Pack those, summon 2 more Void Lords or 2 more Doomguards. They have their Death Knight. They have their N'Zoth. They have a lot of capabilities later in the game, and you generally can't really punish them early game. You play like a aggro deck or more like Paladin or something like that. They have stuff like the Fires, which completely destroy you. Yeah, I don't know. That's just my spiel. I think Kibler was the same way. I think he wanted Warlock to get nerfed. I wanted Warlock to get nerfed too. I mean, I didn't really mind facing any of these. I mean, I really didn't mind facing. I mean, these cards were annoying to face, but I feel like Void Lords are more annoying. I can tell you I've been more triggered in this expansion than I have in Unguro. Actually, any other expansion that I've been a part of Hearthstone for. I don't know, Knights of the Frozen Throne was pretty obnoxious. Well, the thing is, like, Juju was a big issue back in Knights of the Frozen Throne. And, you know, they had the 5 mana Spreading Plague. Which, you know, I play a lot of mid-rangey decks. And, yeah, those completely destroy you. But you have, I believe, 2 weeks to get the full Disenchant Dust for these cards. I would probably suggest get rid of these cards. Quarter Creeper, Patches, Raza. Probably keep Bone Mirror. Bone Mirror really doesn't have that much value. I still think it's going to be somewhat good. I mean, if you have, like, a bunch of Bone Mirrors, yeah, disenchant them. But, like, if you have, like, I don't know. If you have 2, probably don't disenchant them. Because you'll probably get them anyways. But I guess, I don't know. I usually can always open them up back in Knights of the Frozen Throne packs, but I still think Bowmare will be a powerhouse. These cards will be powerhouse too, but the main issue is like, you know, there might be other, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. There might be other great powerhouse decks. Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, disenchant these cards, you know, that's like 400 dust right there, 1600, 32. Bone Mare is like the only real thing you really don't need a disenchant. But like Raza, like I just feel like these cards, like I don't know, there's like really isn't an incentive to play them. Like they're getting nerfed. There's a reason why they're getting full dust for the nerfs, and take it while you can. Where they're like, because like the next expansion comes out in a handful of months. Like you really don't need to play Razakus Priest. Like I don't know. I guess if you pay a decent amount of money to Blizzard, I guess it really doesn't matter. But you know, like, not everyone is like pay to win and stuff like that. Where you know people actually need this. Like, you have the ability to craft 2 legendaries here. 2 legendaries, you know, you can like instead of having patches, you can get a Sunkeeper or something, or a Raza. You can get like I don't know, a Tyrion or something. I don't know, something big, and like you can disenchant these for Hydras. I feel like Hydras might be on the horizon. I know they were always strong, but I felt like a lot of face decks did run them. Like, I remember Hunter ran them, Power Warrior ran them, but yeah, I think that's it for me, though. So, Dust, Dust, Dust. Probably keep these. I mean, Bone Mare Dust compared to these other Dust is kind of really slim. But anyways, that's it for me. Remember, you have those weeks to get the full amount of dust for the cards. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.